So hi to sir and everyone. So today I'm Benalalinzi to represent my second project for subject ECH20503. So for the first one is the method that I use, which is the first method is running records. So the running records that I choose or to observe the students or my children is to provide because it can provide the details that a child action and the child how the child interact with the others and also how they're going to express the what they feel during the activity. So this also help me to capture what is in their mind and how they're going to problem to do the problem solving and also the creativity in play or learning. Besides that also um the reason I choose or the reason this is the method that I'm using is because to be an educator, to be to be the person that going to teach the children, I believe that through this search or observation, it allows me to be more no to be more track how the student or the children movement during their doing activities or maybe there are there are something to solve the problems. So it can besides that, I think that during this method also, the children can compare the planets because I have choosing the planets as my observation method, observation things. Also, they can make a connection between the gravity and also the how the movement of the planet during the solar system. So it's as I said, it's allowed for deeper analysis of individual interests and also development needs. So for the second method that I choose, which is the checklist observation. So the first point is structure assessment tools where educators mark where specific behaviors or skills are be present. It also provides quantitative insight into children's development. So the reason I choose the checklist because with the checklist that I do, I know how the children be tracked or how they involve themselves in the each of the levels because the activities that I choose, which is it's about the solar system, it's about a space. So they have to know the types of space or the how to do a coordination, which is which one with the place it which is where is the Earth, where should they put the Jupiter, and so on. So I also choose this method because I will know and follow there on like as mentioned above. I follow all the track in the participation levels and also I can see is it the activities that I do activities that I observe are they can use their own fine motor skills and also how they will be learning or get memorize all the activities itself. We as educators also should know the concepts, the levels of their children. Is it the activities that I observe? Is it the really use the types of the methods or maybe it's not going to use the methods. Either the activity can help them to improve their own fine motor skills. So next I move to why both are selected. It means that why I select running records and also checklists. So here I explain that it for the running records deep insight into engagement. While during the running records I get to know the children movement means that the curiosity in doing the activities or the curiosity to be more observing the activities itself and also learning analysis. Um, it can provide a narrative of value while doing observation and allow me to track the children progress while they are think they explore the feelings and also how they express their ideas to settle down the problem that they have. Besides, this method also to record children reaction and how they're going to settle problem solving and activities. For in the checklist also, I put the explanation which is to ensure that key learning objectives are approved, means that the children, the activities that they do or during the activities that they have to be done, so the objective that they will getting is achieved. Efficient and systematic, tracks participation and skill development. So using this method, we know that either the children or the student know how to using their own skill development. Since each we know that since each of the child engage with learning differently, and for my understanding that these records or these both of the records are highlights the unique of learning journey rather than maybe they're following the trends of their learning with the teachers. So I will go to the next point or the key finding. So for key finding, the first point is engagement and learning style. So explanation is children display varied engagement patterns. So we know that the children will giving their own patterns or their own how the way they are learning, with some actively manipulating planet models while others prefer to observe and ask questions. So while during this engagement, we know that they are using their own movement or they are using their own things that they should be engaged the things with them. So for the second point is concept understanding. So for the concept understanding, some children are easy to identify what is the planet's coordination or what is the planet names, but some of them are not be like to learn about it, or also they might be confused about how the coordination of the planet in solar system, because the solar system are in the circles. I mean like they are in the circles, and then they have to put the picture, the color picture, and also the names according to the coordination in the solar system. So my key findings for the third point is motor skills and spatial awareness. So for this explanation is about how they manipulate the planet models that help them to reinforce or they use their own fine motor skill and also evolve themselves using the particularly incorrect, or maybe there be a time that they have to think, they have to use their own ideas to position the coordination of the planets in the correct order in the solar system. We know that there might be a pictures or there might be a section that the children doesn't know or they confused about which one is a Mars, which one is Saturn, and which one is Jupiter planet, because when it comes to the colors or when it comes to the position, they have the same similarity on it. So I move it to my discussion. So during this, I noticed that since students show varied engagement styles, which is in a hands-on or maybe in a verbal of communication or maybe the observational. So in the future, activities can integrate multi-sensory learning. Related planetary features to a real-world objects showing analogy based on learning is effective. Educators can encourage comparative learning by maybe they have to link this linking space, like they show the space, the kind of space situation, and also how the space movement concept to everyday experience. Activities can include more like they can use their fine motor skills, also based on the challenge, such as assembling solar system puzzles, or maybe they can, or maybe we can give them, or we can give the children to creating explanatory models with clay to giving them more knowledge and also to strengthen manipulation skills that have to be used, such that we know that some children related planetary features to everyday objects like there may be like said that Mars Mars look like a dusty orange ball, or maybe they're showing effective use of analogies in learning. Also, maybe while doing this discussion, also I noticed that the children can use their activities, such as the concept to be faster when physically arrange the planets rather than through verbal explanation, rather than we explain to them, because nowadays the children are more excited to learn when they are doing their hands-on learning or doing their hands touching movement. So I move to reflect on the challenges and ethnic consideration. So for the first point is ensuring objective observation, red bias or assumptions, avoiding observed influence, time practical challenges, show some respect with children's privacy and dignity, obtaining consent, and also avoiding to become a bias in a class. So for become bias, so the first is one key that challenging our itself or challenging me is to ensuring objective observation without bias or assumption. Like maybe we can observe the children behavior based on their personal expectation rather than objective facts, such as I can give the example here to become an educators while doing the observings in maybe there's some a child that might be quiet in a group discussion, that we might assume that they are not giving respond, or they're not like the subject. But when it become a reality, maybe we could proceed them with a process information, or we can gather the information of what is the things that they have liked and what the things that they have disliked. For overcome this situation, we as observers, or we as educators, we should use non-judgmental description, such as nothing action instead of assuming motivation. Also, we know that children often behave differently when they know they are being observed. They might be react on they will be a shy person, because mostly the children didn't learn when people are looking them, or people are focusing on them, and while they are doing the other activities also. Also, capturing a complete picture of a child learning requires repeated observation. Like a limited time or resource might be not help us to proceed with our uh, our tasks or maybe activities. Example, and educators might be conducting at one time observe, like they have to conduct in every of the observation, and also and educators should be conduct them in a single activity, failing to notice their strengths and others of areas. So next, I move it to ethical and the children privacies, which is children have the right to privacy, and observation should never compromise their dignity and autonomy. Like example, maybe like we love to record the video, we love to record the pictures while they are challenging. Well, it might be challenging us because sometimes then are not showing their response, or sometimes they are scared to be recorded or to be in our photos and video. So recording a child challenging behavior at context should lead to misinterpretation, harming them because they feel so unprotected, or maybe their privacy is not be protected, and also harming their self-confidence or reputations. So for the solution that I can suggest, or solution that for me I can do, which is we as educators have to focus on their learning behaviors rather than their personal traits. And we should ensure observation, like notes, do nots label, or we can define them the child abilities permanently. We as educators must ensure all the parents up there, or maybe their guardians, and also towards the children, if they have to, or we have to understand them the observation process, like we're telling the parents what kind of things that to do, what kind of the activities they have to do. And also maybe we can telling them that on that day when we do the observation towards their children, we tell them that on that day we have the lecturers or the educators giving them a time, or maybe during the activity, so they can ask permission, either then we can tag the children pictures or not. So it's the end of my presentation. Thank you.